going on, everybody? You back rocking with your boy Sweet Science, you on the air. Subscribe to the channel, beat the like button up, make sure you hit your bell icon for all your post notifications. We gonna get it in. So you saw the title of the video. I got some shit I want to talk about. I was thinking to myself, and I said, self, what is this shit with Tyson Fury about? Like, what is it about? And I've come to a conclusion. It's about a lot of things. I'm going to backtrack a little bit to kind of bring it up to speed. We all know, to the people who are not Tyson Fury fans, y'all don't mind hearing about this again. And to the people that are Tyson Fury fans or Wilder haters, y'all want us to stop talking about this, stop bringing it up, but you ain't got no way to stop us from talking about it. So the only thing you can really do is dislike the video or talk shit from behind your computer screen. But we all know that it's a proven fact that Tyson Fury is a repeated cheater. Right? We know this. He's a repeat offender. He cheated in several fights, but a few fights and a few things to note. The referee Eddie Cotton saying that Tyson Fury is one of the dirtiest fighters is the dirtiest fighter he's ever reffed. Getting caught with an androlone in the system. It was either right before or right after the Vladimir Klitschko fight, which puts a black cloud over the Klitschko win. The Christian Hammer, however you pronounce his last name, the detached thumb of the glove of the same hand that was being investigated in the Wilder 1 fight. I feel like that Drake song, Money in the Grave. Where do I even start? Where do I start? But at this point, it's bigger than Fury just being a cheater. His team, they constantly contradict themselves. And I'm going to get to the point. But I want this to marinate so I can say all this to say what I'm saying. His team, they constantly contradict themselves. They have opposite stories every other week. 1 minute it's I'm fighting AJ. This is the timeline since the Wilder Fury 2 fight. Wilder immediately activated his rematch clause. We were ready for that to happen. But the problem is that Tyson Fury wants to establish dominance over Deontay Wilder. I think if you watched the first fight and the second fight, and you took the time to research the accusations of not just Wilder, but a lot of fighters, fans, referees of Tyson Fury, if you don't know that he cheated, I'm going to pull a page out of Mauricio Suleiman's book. then you're stupid. If you know that he cheated, there's nothing else for me to say. So Fury, I think all this is about all this back and forth and Daniel, my boy, all that shit. He wants to break Wilder's spirit. The reason Wilder's spirit is not broken is because he didn't beat Wilder on an even playing field. He didn't beat him at all. You know, that first fight, that 11th round knockdown or 12th round, whatever round it was, he got up, Tyson Fury got up closer to 12. He got up closer to 12. Not to mention that he cheated with his glove in that fight. And fight number 2, he completely cheated. Like, there was no shame in his game. So, it didn't break Deontay Wilder's spirit because he didn't do it fairly. If Tyson Fury wants to break Deontay Wilder's spirit, if the racist fans want to see Deontay Wilder broken, if you guys really want to see Deontay Wilder hurt, what you have to insist that Tyson Fury does is take the 3rd Wilder fight, like they are contracted to do, and beat his ass fairly. If Tyson Fury can beat Deontay Wilder's ass fairly, which he can't, which he cannot, if he can beat Deontay Wilder's ass fairly, then he will break Deontay Wilder's spirit. If anything, the cheating that has been done on behalf of Tyson Fury has probably made Deontay Wilder even more confident than he was before. Because how the human psyche works, if you had to cheat me to beat me, then I know I'm the man. I mean, I knew I was the man before, but now it's like, now I feel fucking phenomenal, cosmic power type shit, because a motherfucker who's bigger than me, taller than me, outweighs me, longer reach than me, is a better boxer, all of that, had to cheat twice to beat me. That would make me feel so good. That wouldn't make me feel bad at all. And I think that's how Wilder thinks. So the reason y'all fans, or whatever you want to call y'all, the reason y'all Wilder haters, you know, y'all try to say stuff like, he's stupid, you're stupid, even though he got more money than you'll ever have in your life. So you can't be that stupid. But the reason why you guys are like, oh, you're making these excuses when several other boxers, one of which, Steve Cunningham, who I interviewed on my channel, actually fought Fury. None of you guys have ever been in the ring with Tyson Fury. Referee, tons of people in the boxing industry, literally that's in the industry, have called Tyson Fury a cheater and a dirty fighter. So what all this stuff is about, the reason that we're seeing Tyson Fury and his team wishy-washy on what they're gonna do and say, and they're always contradicting themselves, because you have Frank Warren, even old people that were in this corner like Ben Davison, Sugar Hill, who should be fucking ashamed of himself, Sugar Hill, everybody that fucks with Tyson Fury, who hangs out with him or is in his camp, they have to kind of make what he does and says make sense to the world. And it's harder for them to do that because he's always all over the place. The reason he's always all over the place is because since the second fight, he has wanted and tried so hard to, one, embarrass Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, I'm telling you now, he's not embarrassed about anything because he knows what happened. He wants to break Wilder's spirit. he made Wilder's spirit stronger by cheating him. So I mean, he's actually in a way kind of helped Deontay Wilder. So since the second fight, he's wanted Wilder to publicly be embarrassed. And since Wilder's not, and Tyson Fury sees that Wilder's spirit's not broken, it's driving him crazy. It's driving him crazy. He wants Wilder to think that he's not thinking about him. I guarantee you that motherfucker thinks about Wilder in the first 5 minutes he's awake every day since that second fight. Every day, I promise you, I guarantee you he thinks about Deontay Wilder in his first 5 minutes of being awake. So he wants Wilder to feel insignificant, to feel small, to feel irrelevant. He wants Wilder to feel that he's not thinking about him. But all this stuff he's doing to real motherfuckers like us, like the American fans and the true, the real fans from the UK, everybody can see through this. And I think it's embarrassing for the UK. And usually I'm talking shit about the UK because I don't like a lot of y'all like that. But I'm just being honest in this one. Like, this shit is embarrassing. If this was our champion and our champion was behaving like this, I would be fucking embarrassed. I swear to God, I would be embarrassed. I wouldn't claim him. I'd look at the different weight classes for a champion that we could claim, because Tyson Fury is just an embarrassment, man. So how these people are not embarrassed, I have no idea. But again, he wants Wilder to feel away. And I just don't think that that's going to happen. So, I don't know, man. I think that all this stuff he's doing is to make Wilder feel away. So, he got Frank Warren and all these dudes out here looking crazy as fuck, trying to back up what he says and what he does, simply for the fact of this man trying to make Wilder feel away. That's all this shit is about. When he said, "Oh, Daniel, my boy, we got the fight over the line. He literally got this done 2-fight deal." He wanted Wilder to feel like he wasn't thinking about him, like he was already looking past him. He wasn't. That video was about Wilder. That he did that video with Wilder in mind, so he could try to make Wilder feel away. Because Wilder's unapologetically black to this day. So that's what that was about. He wanted Wilder to be on social media looking stupid. He wasn't. That was the whole thing. Wilder hasn't said anything. Wilder hasn't said anything. Wilder hasn't said anything. Why does he have to be on social media running his mouth? He doesn't have to be. Y'all have a contract. Behind closed doors, he's responding. They're pushing the fight forward. So what does he have to get on social media for? And what, you want him to get on social media and bow down to you? That's not gonna happen. So he did the Daniel, my boy, and then Wilder still didn't say nothing. So then they did the rematch clause is expired, trying to get a reaction. All this shit that he's doing and they're doing, mainly Tyson Fury, is to try to get a reaction out of Deontay Wilder. He wants to see Wilder squirm, but Wilder's stronger than him. Not even just physically, but mentally. I assure you, Wilder's mentally stronger than him. So, they tried to hit him with the rematch clause is expired. Let's see what Wilder says. Let's see what he does. Let's see if we can get him to respond. We're moving on. The rematch clause expired. If the rematch clause expired, why are they in arbitration? Why have they been taken to arbitration by Wilder to make the third fight happen if the rematch clause expired? If the rematch clause was expired, there would be no arbitration to go to, because there'd be nothing in the contract to be upheld. So after that, I'm fighting Ajit Kabiel. Ajit Kabiel. or Oscar Rivas. And all you fucking idiots ate that shit up. What happened to that fight? It didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? If the contract is over with Wilder, he has no more obligations to fight Wilder. He can fight whoever he wants. Then why didn't that Agit Cabello fight happen? No, December 5th. I'm fighting December 5th. Y'all really be believing this dude? It makes me, honestly, it makes me look at y'all like, yo, either y'all are so racist to the point, y'all like, I don't give a fuck what Fury says. We're going to go with it because I don't like this black dude. I don't like how he thinks he's all that. I don't like how he thinks he's the shit. It bothers me that much that this black man really feels like and thinks that he's so big and bad that I'm just going to back up this fucking drug addict, liar, cheat. Just because I don't like this black dude. Or you're just so stupid that you actually believe the shit that Tyson Fury, a proven liar, says all the time. It makes me look at y'all like, Jesus Christ, these people are either dumb or so racist to the point that they're like, fuck it. They're willing to look stupid themselves just to try to make Wilder stupid. But here's the thing about the fans, mainly the racist fans. There's nothing that you can say or do to make Wilder look stupid. None of us, even if I wanted to, even though I'm a Wilder fan. There's nothing that any of us can do to make Wilder look stupid because at the end of the day, you have to work a 9 to 5. Right? You have to work something. I don't know your hours. I don't know your work schedule. But you have to get up and work for someone else. You have to get up and do something that you don't want to do. You can't just get up and go anywhere in the world whenever you want. You can't buy the things that Wilder can buy. You're not financially equivalent to Deontay Wilder. None of the fans are. So you can call him stupid. You can call him delusional. You can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, he's doing better than you. So it doesn't... You're just wasting energy. So after the Agit Cabello lie, obviously that fight didn't happen. Of course it didn't happen. After that lie, now he's bringing it back to AJ again. I'm fighting AJ. They're moving on to AJ. They're moving on to AJ when they're in arbitration. He's doing all this shit to get a rise out of, to try to get a rise out of Wilder, and none of it is getting a rise out of him. In fact, him doing all that stupid shit, I don't know if, I'm not going to say he wouldn't have because I don't know, but Fury doing all this stupid erratic shit, that might have actually pushed Wilder to put out that video of the shit Fury actually did, because the whole time everybody was trying to say, well, how come Wilder hasn't said anything? How come Wilder hasn't said anything? And then as soon as he says something, y'all like, oh, he's delusional. He's delusional, yet you weren't in the ring with Tyson Fury. You didn't fight him. So I'm going to tell a man what happened in a fight from a fighter that I wasn't getting hit by and that I've never fought. If you're even a fighter. I just think the UK is looking bad, man. This is y'all king. This is y'all king. You know, the only thing AJ ever did was duck Wilder. Now y'all about to get mad at that. No, Wilder said that. No, Wilder said that after the first fight, he could have fought AJ. And he chose to give Fury a rematch because he's a man of his word. That's what happened. So the only thing AJ's ever really done is duck Wilder. So I don't even really dislike AJ. I like AJ. AJ's cool. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson Fury, man, I really don't know what type of man or stand-up person with character and real morals who isn't a piece of trash or a piece of shit could really listen to the stuff that Tyson Fury says, watch the stuff that he does, and still try to support him. It is crazy, man. It's crazy and it's sad. It's crazy and it's sad. So Anyway, the point of this video, even though I've already touched on it, is that we're seeing all these lies and all this erratic behavior from Fury, on top of the fact that he's a dishonest drug addict. We're seeing all of this stuff in result of him actually trying to get a reaction and a rise out of Wilder and make him look away on social media. However, it backfired, and it's not going how Fury wanted. He's digging himself a hole, and it even got to the point where Wilder was like, look, if you try to move on, we're going to go to court. There is audio. You can go to Ego's page. You can go to, I don't know if I heard Fanon have it, but he talked about it. You can go to these other boxing pages or channels, and there's a audio of Bob Arum saying, hey, hold it. Let's not run up no legal fees. We don't have to go to court. I think the best thing for Fury to do is just fight Wilder this third time. Bob Arum said it himself. Frank Warren said himself last month on ESPN, you can Google it, that Fury is going to be forced, very well may be forced to fight Wilder a third time because they're in arbitration. Yet Fury is telling the world that Wilder and his team don't want the fight because they know how it ends with Wilder on his ass again. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to dissect his lies. It's so easy to see what he did in the first fight and the second fight. Not just those two fights. Wilder's not the only fighter that Tyson Fury has cheated. So I'm just wondering when this guy's going to be arrested and or banned from the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because boxing was doing so good. It was doing so good. I mean, it's still doing good, but boxing was doing so good. And then this guy comes back and he's making the sport just look fucking ridiculous, man. It really, if I could spit in Tyson Fury's face, I would. A straight fat loogie right in his face, because I think, and I think that might be honoring him too much. Anyway, that's the reason why we're seeing all these lies from Team Fury. They have to back their man who is making them run around like idiots simply because he wants to try to make another man feel insignificant. And it's driving him crazy that he can't make him feel that way. Again, you rock it with Sweet Science. You on the air. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Beat the like button up. We gonna stay with it. I'm gone.